Hey guys, I'm back again with another video. This time I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks which I'm going to give you as an international student to find a job in Australia, and specifically talking about Perth. Uh, right. So the very first thing, without wasting time, I'm going to tell you is decide that what you are looking for. What are you comfortable doing as a student? Because you already have like lots of study load for the very first semester, because you are discovering things here. So don't take job as a, your job should be like, it's very mandatory for doing a job, but if you can skip it for a semester so that you can focus on your studies, that's all up to you. But I'm just helping out if you're looking for a job, and if you want some guidance or some tips to find a job easily and quickly. So that's why I'm here to talk about that. So the very first thing, guys, that's I just told you that you're having some kind of restrictions over your student visa, that how much you're going to work. So I always recommend people to go the right way and to follow the visa restrictions that are laid down by your work restrictions laid down on your visa. If it's 20 hours, respect that limit. If you are like 20 hours, 15 hours, whatever it is, you should respect that. Don't overwork, because it might hamper your visa conditions. It can be like anytime authorities keep check on your visa, they see where the money is coming from, and if somebody like complains, then it becomes very difficult for you to come back to where you started from, because that's obviously there's going to be a lot more questions by authorities, and you might cancel your student visa, and you have already spent so much of money. So play it safe, guys. If it's 20 hours a week or 40 hours fortnight, just respect that condition. Don't overwork yourself, because you already gonna have loads of study pressure also on you. So you also have to perform well in your exams. Also, you have to manage your expenses. So I'll recommend, don't overwork yourself. Just work just to pay your bills, so that you are being a little more independent, and you're not asking your parents always for your money and your requirements. But obviously, so respect the first thing is respect your visa conditions. So once your visa conditions are you are aware of the visa conditions, now try to look where you want to go. Like, which field do you want to go? Do you want to work in a departmental store? Do you want to work as a waiter, as a wait staff, we say they here, or kitchen hand, like doing dishes, cleaning dishes, helping out the chef, cutting vegetables? You want to go in hospitality, that is customer services. There might be some call centers or some counter jobs that you have to deal with the customers. Or you can go into some delivery jobs like Uber Eats you can do, or there are like restaurants who hire personal drivers to deliver the food, or they hire like drivers or delivery boys. You want to do that. So I'm gonna explain you like what require what. But for the very first time when you are going for a job, just don't try to be everywhere. Just try what you are comfortable doing with, because you have to study too. So your work should not be a pressure, but it should be something which you are working and coordinating it with your studies. Don't overwork, guys. As I said, it might be you might get your student visa cancelled, and you have already spent so much of money, you don't want to go back. So always respect that limit. So here in Australia, especially in Perth, we work on two situations. Either we get a salary on cash, or we get the salaries in a bank account. If you're working for a reputed brand, or you're working for a big brand, they pay you weekly or fortnightly, 2 weeks or 1 week, that depends upon your company. And they give you shifts. They try to give you like 16 or 17 hours. They don't do it like 18, 19, 20 hours. They try to give you 16 to 17 hours, so that you have your own educational requirements and things like that. So they don't want to put you on burden. They give you usually like 2 shifts for 8 hours, or 5 hours, like 3 shifts. So they try, that all totally depends upon your company or your organization where you're working for. Mostly people come here, and the very first thing they do is they register for Uber Eats. They get a cycle. and they get a bag. The bag costs around like $36, and you have to register on a Uber Eats app, and then you have to go to the Uber office, which is green light Uber, I think, and you have to register yourself, and you have to get your police clearance and things like that. And in like 15 to 20 days, you get your Uber account verified with police clearance, and you get a like Uber bag, so you can do Uber Eats whenever you feel like. Or that's a tough job, guys, and some students try to do it on a car and register on scooter. If they get to see by customers they are delivering for, they complain and their Uber account gets cancelled. So don't do that. In Perth, Uber Eats requires a driving license. That should be the Australian driving license if you are delivering it in the car. If you are delivering it on bikes, that is like the bicycles, the manual bicycle or electric bicycles, you don't need any kind of license. But if you're doing it on your national license or your home country license, that is not possible. It's not like Melbourne, not like Sydney. In Melbourne, I think you can drive on your local license, but you cannot drive commercially in Perth with your home country's license. You should be having an Australian license here. So you can always have an option for like 50cc scooter, like which is like very slow speed, and or a bicycle or an electric bicycle. So you can do Uber Eats on that. If you have an Australian driving license or you apply for one, you can like do the Uber Eats. Some people also do Uber, like the taxi thing, but it requires you to have a 6-month-old license in Australian. The Australian license should be 6 months old if you're doing the driving thing. And this is the very first and common option that students opt for. The second option comes for that working in a cafe. In Perth, you have variety of coffee shops and variety of cafes, restaurants, but they all require you to have a certain kind of certifications, that is RSA, which allows you to serve alcohol, and you should be above 18. And there should be some also require like you should have an alcoholic license, because there are certain kind of bars which provide alcohol, so you should be having an alcohol serving license too. There is a RSA certification which makes you qualified to serve alcohol as well as work in restaurants, bars and cafes. We also go for a barista certification. Barista certification is to how to make a coffee. So you are certified as a coffee maker, and you can get jobs as a coffee maker, as a cleaner, as a wait staff, or a kitchen hand. So these are like 4 or 5 kind of jobs that you can find in hospitality environment. If you are customer oriented, you love working, and you love cooking, you have these all certifications and things are required for you to apply for the jobs. Third thing which is very popular here is as a casual worker. If you're working for petrol pumps, you're working in retails like Woolworths, we don't have Walmart here. Woolworths, and we have some big departmental stores, some local departmental stores which hire like students and give them 20 hours shift. So you can try there. And usually these the big departmental stores, which are like big brands like Woolworths and Target. So these big departmental stores have online process of selecting the resumes. You can apply online. There are lots of retail chains like McDonald's, Domino's, and Hungry Jack's, KFC, and a lot of things. So you have to keep eye on all those brands online. You have to go to their site, select the location, Perth, and then there are various options or various suburbs which are listed which have jobs, so you can apply directly on the company site. For that you need to have a good resume. Obviously your CV says a lot about you, and it's not like in your home country. The CV is like not that's like not the norm that we used to do, like writing your qualifications and writing your work experience. If you don't expect that you'll be selected on, if you have like, if I was working in a office like for 2 years back in my country, here I come and apply for a wait staff in a cafe, I have to provide certain kind of proof or have to write down certain situations where I have worked in a cafe, because obviously a recruiter is never going to consider your resume unless and until you have previous experience. So always, guys, the very first thing that I always say, have different resumes for different jobs. If you're going for a wait staff, write something that you know about cooking, you have done something, or you write some kind of, you have to mold your resume according to that actually. So if you're going for a wait staff, so you have a bubbly personality, your advantages are you are very patient, and you like dealing with customers. You can like write down like, I have previous experiences like this, like that kind of. So you have to mold your resume accordingly to get noticed by the recruiters. If you're working in a hospitality, like if you want to be on a reception or a front desk, so your communication skills, where you have worked, so you can like mold it accordingly. So have different resumes for different jobs. If you're going for a kitchen hand, try like, I was working in a restaurant for about like 5 or 6 months, so I used to do this, and I know about this. If you're going for a departmental store job, I know how to stock. I have FIFO, LIFO methods, and I know how to clean the shop, I know how to deal with the customers, I have certain advantages, what I learned from that job, what I know, explaining what you were doing there. So obviously the right resumes will be noticed by the recruiters and they're gonna call you back. So third thing that you can go for is the sites, the various job sites that you can look for. There are various job sites. Gumtree is one of the very popular job hunting site, and you can go for Indeed, you can go for there are a couple of Jora, there is various online sites which you can like explore when you Google it. So what I specifically suggest is Seek, Jora, LinkedIn, then you have Gumtree, then you have Indeed. So these are like 5 main sites, but you can already, when you are exploring your Google and you are researching, you can just look out for all different sites. The very good companies like Target, Woolworths, Caltex, BP Retail, Puma Petrol, and things like that. So there are very big brands. These are like petrol companies. I have retail companies here, and we have like lots of cafes, and which has their own website. So you can just go and have a word with them on how to apply. You can go inside any shop and say if there is any recruitment going over. What I did was I had like 15-20 resumes with me every time wherever I used to go. I used to give it into the cafes. I have a different resumes for that, so that I like worked in like some kind of I worked as a wait staff, I worked as a kitchen hand, I know more about cleaning, dealing with customers and things like that. So I had different resumes and I distributed those in the restaurants and cafes so as to maximize my opportunities to get noticed. You can certainly, they're going to take your resume, and if they are literally hiring, they have like stickers or boards outside the window of the shop, so you can notice that. Try to move around. The good places to move around and see the restaurants, it's city CBD. Go to Fremantle or any shopping centers, that is Carousel, DFO, and just try the shops there and see if they are hiring or not. If they are not even hiring, you can just go inside and give your resume to them and make them tell them that I have some RSA certificates or things like that, and just mention everything on your resume, that whatever you have. So if you're lucky, you can get a call from them and you can have a discussion about the job. If you're going for big brands like BP, like Target, like Woolworths, like Harvey Norman, like David Jones, H&M, and things like that, you have to apply online with a resume. So you exactly mold your resume according to the job requirements and then submit your resume, and you might get a call. What the procedures are like when they call you, generally, when you submit your resume, they reply you within 15 to 20 days, is you were selected or not. Once you're selected, most of the companies do a video interview. So they give you a link in the mail and you have to select, and there are certain questions that you have to answer. on the video, and then that's like they have their own portal. The videos, the questions will come, and once you'll start recording, you will record it on your laptop and you will submit then and there. So again, tips for the video interview: just try to be calm, be yourself, right? Just don't deviate yourself, because you get 2 minutes for each question. So try to minimize it, but try to keep it simple, but try to keep it effective at the same time. If they're asking you for your you know history about work, where you live in, what are your values, why are you suitable for this job, and how you came to know about us, and things like that. So you should be very well prepared. You get like time to prepare yourself, so you can quickly make some notes and just keep it at the front of you, so that whenever you're doing the video interview, so you don't forget those points. And try to be simple. If you're not comfortable speaking English, try to use simpler sentences, or else you can try to giving points, or try to make your sentence formation simple, because they are testing your number one fluency of the language, because you have to deal with the customers. So they are looking for people who are very fluent in the language, and they can communicate well their thought process, and how confident you are. Secondly, whenever you're doing a video interview, try to be in a place where it's not noisy, just like I'm sitting here and making a video, so there is no disturbance. Thirdly, dress up properly, keep your hairs, comb your hairs properly, try to wear a shirt whenever you're giving a video interview, so that it makes an impact on the recruiter that you're serious for the job and you are actually looking for the job. So once you clear your video interview, they tell you within 1 week, if you're selected, they call you for an interview, and the interview lasts for about 30 to 45 minutes once you go. And they're going to ask you why you want to work here, what are your visa requirements, how many hours you can give to them, and do you have a car or not. This question, do you have a car, is a very common question asked in interviews. So obviously getting a car in Perth is relatively cheap and easy, but don't worry if you don't have one. But whenever the recruiter is asking you, do you have a car, just say yes in an interview, because mostly recruiters prefer that you should have a car so you can drive by yourself, because public transport is not reliable. They think like that. So you always answer yes to that question. Yes, I have a car. Yes, I have a car. Yes, I have a car. Even if you don't have one. So just try. These are tips which I'm giving you in between explaining you the process. So tell them that you have a car, even if you don't own one, because they're going to ask you that, do you have a car? And you're going to say yes anytime, because if you'll say no, they might not consider you because you don't have a car. So always say I have a car, I can drive, and just tell them openly when are your college classes, and try discuss it, because if you won't discuss them, they will not be able to tell you that what shifts they are flexible with, so they can work out with you. So always tell them what are your visa restrictions. Don't run for extra hours, especially in the companies which provide you salary in your account, because it might be seen by the visa agencies or your authorities, and then if they caught you working overtime, then you're going to be in trouble. So always try to respect that level. One more often, so whenever you're going for an interview, obviously go dressed in formals or semi-formals, but I always wear formals. So go with a formal attire. Take your passport with you, and do Google everything, where is the location, how you are going, if you're going by bus or if you're going by train, how much time will it take, after you get out from the bus, and where exactly. So do your research well before going. Obviously study about the company too, just what it does, how many years it has been dealing in that, what are their products, what do they sell. So because if the recruiter asks, what about us, can you tell us about what we do? So you have certain opinions and answers to yourself. And that's what it means. Recruiters just want to see, are you interested in that job? If you are interested in that job, that means that you have done some certain kind of research. And that's what the recruiters are looking for. They are looking for candidates who have good communication skills. Even if you don't have good communications, you are able to talk and express yourself. And then once you have done that, then it comes to you should own a car. Or if you doesn't, just say that I have a car. Mold your resumes accordingly, and just try to go in a formal attire and be very comfortable and confident. Obviously, don't be just like sitting like this and being serious. Try to be the interviews here are very friendly, and they create an environment where you can like joke around and you can play with your situations and try to keep it light and simple. They're gonna love it. And just express yourself. If you are not comfortable in the language, try to use simple sentences just to convey what you are feeling and what you are thinking. So I think once you'll get a job and everything's going to be fine. So obviously some key important things to remember. There are various sites, and some sites are not genuine. Nobody will be asking you for any kind of deposit in the very first round of interview. Why would they be asking for money? Just think, guys. So don't get trapped in situations like that. There are some fraud websites which say you have to deposit 20 or 50 or $100 because we have to provide you uniform. You don't have to do that at the very first time of the interview. Try to be very cautious when you're filling for some on your job portals or things like that. Don't get fooled, guys. Nobody's going to take money to hire you. Very first thing. Second thing, if you come across a situation like this, don't ever give your card or any kind of information related to your contact details, your passport. No, if you're not sure, leave it then and there. Do not fill the form and do not continue going forward with that, or giving your card details, CVP number. No, guys, that's a fraud. Always a genuine company will be asking for your resume, then it will be telling you of the steps. Nobody's gonna ask you for your money, man. Please, guys, there are a lot of scams going over, and students lose money on that situation. So always try to be smart and be good with your money. If you don't understand it, consult it with your friends. Don't try to play over smart. Ask your friends, ask your seniors or anyone you trust or who has a knowledge for that. Don't run for jobs like that. Nobody's going to ask for your money to hire you, guys. So it's a long video, I know, but just to review, the sites that you can look up to is Seek, Indeed, Gumtree, Linden, and Jora, and these are like sites that you can rely on to find a job. And obviously have different resumes for different jobs. If you're going for cafe jobs, have a different style of resume. If you're going for office or call center jobs, have a different kind of resume. If you're going for a restaurant, have a different kind of resume. If you're going for coffee making jobs, have a different kind of resume. So mold your resumes according to the job requirements. Study the job requirements and then accordingly mold your resume. You should not be having one, but you should having multiple resumes so that you can fix one according to the situation. Obviously, third thing, that obviously certain jobs require certain kind of certification, so it is written in the job requirement, so you can look out for that. Just like RSA, first aid, alcohol certification. There are many things. Once you go and explore the requirements for the job, it's listed there what kind of certifications they require. So look to that too. And if certifications are required, so you have to get those certifications if you're looking for that job. Police clearance is done here, so it takes about 1 or 2 days. So they often ask you, are you willing to get a police clearance if you need to? So you can always say yes to that. Guys, respect your work limit, like 20 hours a week or 40 hours a fortnight. That is 20 plus 20 for 2 weeks. So don't try to work extra because the authorities are strict now and they're looking every step that you're taking. Don't try to be over smart to play with money. If you're going for cash, if you're working on cash basis, that's fine, but don't work more than your visa restrictions, guys. I'm just telling you it again and again. People do that all the time and they get caught, and then it's end of the world for them because you have already spent lots of money to come here, study. Don't try to overwork yourself because you have study commitments too. So respect that and work just 20 hours a week or 40 hours a fortnight. So this is the thing that I want to clarify. And Yes, I have told you the procedure. Once you submit your resume according to the job requirements, they're gonna invite you for a video interview on your mail. Once you do your video interview, and then they're gonna select you. Then they're gonna call you for a face-to-face interview, and then you are given the offer letter. Or for being more cautious about it, don't go to sites or don't give your any financial information or your passport or your visa information or anything which is related to you guys for a job. If they ask you online, give me your card number or something for the uniform or things like that. These are scam, guys. Don't go ahead with those situations. I'm telling you again and again. And it might not be like, you just come here, you land in Perth or you land in Australia and you get job like this. No, guys, you have to be very patient. You have to wait. You have to keep believing in yourself and have faith, because eventually it takes time to get a job. It's not like just, in a night. It takes around 1 month, 2 months. You should not give up, but you should also like keep trying all the time. Try various platforms, try various sites, try companies career websites, try keep yourself updated, check time to time. And then once you'll start doing that, make it a habit. Like, I have to apply 10 jobs a day and things like that. So you'll be able to create more chances for yourself, and the probability of getting a job will get in will you'll it'll increase like 10 times if you're filling 10 forms every day, every night. So have patience, guys. This is a process and it takes time, and you have to be very much confident and aware about the surroundings. You can go places like Fremantle, Perth, CBD, city center. There are lots of like guide, like you can just Google like where are the restaurants, what are the malls here, like where are the malls, where are the shopping centers. So you can go and hand over the resume in the shops that if you are looking around. So that's the one of the like one way. Applying on the websites is one way. And if you have friends, their recommendations, if they're working in a company and they recommend you guys, that also increases the probability of you getting hired. So you can have a network of people. Go to college, go to your networks and college networks, and there are always like college board helping you with jobs, so you can look up to that too. But that's all, guys. I just wanted to make a informative video. I know it's kind of boring that I'm speaking, but I have given you lots of information about that, how to find it. And if there are any queries, you can just comment down below, and I'll surely gonna reply that on that question. So till the time, guys, have February is coming now, and lots of students are coming here, and I want everybody to get benefit and get a job as quickly as possible. So all the best, guys, and that's all for this video. If you have any queries, guys, just write down below. I'm going to reply ASAP. And all the best, guys. Have a good new semester, guys, and all the international students who are coming to Perth, all the best, guys, and welcome to the Perth. And if there is anything that I can help you with, please comment. I'll be surely helping you out, guys. Cheers, guys. Have a good night. Bye bye.